What makes up the culture of a company? Is it the values, beliefs and behaviors that are shared across the business? A healthy business culture is one that fosters an environment that places the interests of all its stakeholders at the core of its success. For us, it is the Barloworld way that has been the beacon, guiding our business philosophies and influencing our actions. It is an essential part of our DNA and our success. Victor Arnold spent the past 15 years living that culture and instilling it in many others at various levels. His philosophy of being hard on targets, soft on people, is based on embracing diversity across our different regions, communication and teamwork.
My Barloworld journey started in October 1998. I joined what was then called the Barlows Africa team into Mozambique as sales manager. We had a small team. The country was just post-war, so it was a very different scenario to what it is today, I must say. Then within a very short period, the general manager there got sick. So he left and I was promoted general manager. This was for about a year and a half, going on 2 years. And then the Barlows Africa was integrated into the South Africa operations to become a Southern African operation. And with that, it was decided that we would consolidate the Malawi and Mozambique operations. So I was asked to take over Malawi and Mozambique as general manager and to move up to Malawi. So at the time, we were starting with a new strategy process in the group, and Peter Bultman at the time asked me to take on the role of strategy manager for the Southern African territories for the equipment division, which was quite an interesting challenge for me because I'd come from a line business role, and now this was a staff role, where you don't really have line reports, but you actually having to work with all sorts of different teams that I didn't know. I'd been in the company for a short period, so I didn't really know the South African structure. So it took a little bit of time to understand and bed down, and it was great fun. It was great fun getting to know people, getting to work with them, getting to help them, with their strategy processes and so forth. I was the first Barloworld person out of Southern Africa going to Portugal, to that company since we'd acquired. It was really wonderful. You had a team that was looking for change. They were looking to grow. They were looking to change the way they were doing things. I went to Portugal as the managing director of that operation, and after 3 years of being there, the board decided to start a global power business. So Victor Salzman was my CEO at the time, and he phoned me and he said, I've been asked to take on the challenge of starting this global power business. I'd like you to come across to Spain to help with this process. And he asked me to perform the role of global strategy manager, and at the same time help launch as line of business manager, grow the petroleum business, which is the role I'm currently performing. I've worked for Barloworld for 15 years. In those 15 years, I've had 5 international moves. Okay, worked obviously in 5 countries, being in 2 continents, and I've had 8 jobs during that period. And that is one of the things that I've most enjoyed in my development in Barloworld, because there's new challenges every time. You don't get bored. You don't have time to get bored, because when you finish one challenge, you get given another. And that, to me, is one of the really wonderful growth opportunities which Barloworld gives people. They care about you, they care about what you do, they care about your professional growth, and they care about everything around you. The culture of Barloworld is one, I think, is encompassed in the values, of teamwork, honesty, excellence. So, those things, those values are very important, when one works with a team. Those values have to be encompassed in every project that you do and all the things that you do every day. It's not about putting the values on the wall. It's walking the talk. I think one of the key things is when you're managing a diverse team or you go into another country, not to have the arrogance that your way is better, always. Okay. And unfortunately, sometimes people, because they have a specific, very strong culture, they think, well, this is all bad and only my way can work. The reality is your way can add value to the way that things are. okay? And you need to transform and make, instead of your way and their way, make everybody's way. And that's an important part. I think in my 15 years, there's not one specific challenge that I'd like to highlight, but every single role I've had has had different challenges. And those different challenges have led to my personal growth, to my having to create solutions for those specific things with the help of those teams around me. And as I said, I gave and they gave back. And it's the joint working together that developed those things. And it was sometimes turning businesses, that's very tough, because people are low and, times are tough. And, to growing businesses. And, one of the wonderful things about my current job is I'm growing a business. I'm forming a team. I've got a Scottish guy. I've got a Spanish. I've got 2 Portuguese and so forth. So I've got a really international team working with me. And the diversity is great. It's great fun. In working hard, even if it's a small one, it's very, very important that you have a celebration. That people have the time to say, we did it. We actually achieved this small goal, because it's the many small goals that you achieve that give you the big goal. And if you celebrate every small goal, you get to celebrate the big goal too at the end of the day.
Part of a company's success lies in the culture that is conducive to inclusive growth, that encourages innovation and ethical leadership, harnesses individual capabilities, and embraces the richness of diversity. For individuals such as Victor, such an environment allows one to fulfill one's purpose of doing a job that one loves, whilst being afforded the opportunity to grow to one's full potential.
At Barloworld, we strive to provide an engaging, challenging, fulfilling and supportive environment. Our people are inspired to make a world of difference.